All right, now for everyone's listening pleasure, the Cremation, Sam McGee by Richard H. Flynn, and that H stands for hell of a guy.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who boil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he ever left his home in the South to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, yet that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail, and talk of the cold through the parka's fold, it would stab like a driven nail. If our eyes would close, then the lashes froze, till sometime we could hardly see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in the rows beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe, he turned to me and Cap says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, it's this cursed cold that's got right hold. It chilled me clean through the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. And if I do, I'm asking that you cremate my last remains. Now, friend's last need, that's a thing to heed, and I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the crack of dawn, but my God, he was ghastly pale. And he crouched in the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. But before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. And there wasn't a breath in that land of death as we hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, but it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and your brain, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now, a promise made, that's a debt unpaid, and this trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed that load. And the long, long night by the lone firelights, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, my God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. But on I went till my dogs were spent and the grub was getting low, and the trail was bad, and I was half mad, but I vowed I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that loathsome thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I could see in a trice it was called the Alice May. Well, I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I built the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I built the flames up higher. Well, the furnace roared, and the flames they soared, such a sight you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in those glowing coals, and I shoved in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, yet the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why, as the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear. As the stars came out and danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, and I bravely said, "It's time I looked inside. I guess he's cooked." And it's time I looked, so the door I threw open wide. And there sat Sam, just as cool as a clam, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile, and he said, "Please close the goddamn door. It's nice in here, but I bravely fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Those Arctic trails have their tinker tails that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights will see queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night in the marge of Lake Labarge, when I cremated